Dumela grade 10. Welcome to Educate. Today we'll be doing Limpopo, June 2022. This is question 4 based on electric circuits. It says in the circuit diagram below, the reading on voltmeter V1 is 12 volts and the reading on ammeter A1 is 2 amperes. Alright, come at home. Always read the statement before you continue. Guys, you cannot just answer the questions before reading the statement. The first thing that you do after reading the statement is to highlight the series and the parallel part of the circuit. How am I going to do that? I'm going to use my highlighter. So using my highlighter here, I will analyze and say that this part is the series part of the circuit. This part, because the current here is not splitted, it's just one line. Whenever you just see one line of a conductor, it means it is not splitted, so it's a series part of the circuit. Even this part is a series part of the circuit because the current is not divided yet. Make sure that you watch my videos on me breaking down stuff like that. And then now this is the parallel part. This is the parallel part, because now current is being splitted. Just makes a shape of a box, something like this. So this is the parallel part. So always highlight the series part and the parallel part. Then you can now go ahead and write what you know. You can definitely see here from this before you are just analyzing here so that you can answer questions easily. This 12 volts here, it is the total voltage. All right, it is the total voltage, or we can say it is the EMF of the battery. Okay, for now we still call it EMF for the sake of that you are still here in grade 10. But as far as you go, you will end up seeing that there is actually a real EMF, but the total voltage is the EMF in this case is 12 volts. And then here, what can you see here? You can see that you've got 2 amperes. This is ammeter A1. These 2 amperes, you can see that it is the current that is coming from the battery. You can see that this is a positive terminal, this is a negative terminal of the battery. So here, this is basically the current that is flowing towards A1. This current that is flowing towards A1 is coming directly from the battery. Grade 10 is coming directly from the what? From the battery. That means this basically A1, it is measuring the total current. We say it is known as the total current. So basically the total current in the circuit is 2 amperes because is the current that hasn't been splitted. It's coming directly from the battery exactly as it is. Okay, and then now this current flows down, and here it splits. Here at the parallel combination, it splits. It is divided. Some of it will go up, some of it will go down. So some of it goes so this is it. But some of it will move down, something like this. This one, some of it will flow down, and then it will combine again here back and becomes the total current once more. And then it goes back to the negative terminal. So that's how the current is flowing here. And we are just analyzing so that things are simpler for us when we answer the questions. So here you can see that in the series part, the one that I've highlighted using yellow, there is only one resistor and it is 4 ohms. So I can say that the series resistance is equals to 4 ohms because that's the only resistor in the series part and it has got a resistance of 4 ohms. So that's my series resistance. Okay, simple as that. And then now the parallel resistance, you would have to find it by calculating. For now, we're not calculating, we're just analyzing what we can see. All right. And here, this 4 ohms resistor, it is getting the total current because remember, once I highlight this as the series part of the circuit, it always gets the total current. All right. I've explained this in other videos of mine. Make sure that you watch it. Basically, this series part of the circuit, the one highlighted in yellow, the current there, it is the total current. So we can say that these 2 amperes, it is also the current in the 4 ohms resistor. So the current in the 4 ohms resistor here is also 2 amperes. We are analyzing. Okay, so now let's answer the questions from 4.1. So now 4.1 as to define the potential difference across the ends of a conductor. The potential difference, remember, we say that it is the energy, okay, it's the energy that is given per coulomb of charge so that the charge can move. So it is provided by the battery. So you can say this is the energy, or you can say it is the work done. So this is the energy And this is energy provided by the battery per coulomb of charge. So this is energy provided by the battery per coulomb of charge. So each charge will get a certain energy, and that energy is known as the voltage, is known as the potential difference across the ends of a conductor. So this is basically the energy provided per coulombs of charge or per unit charge. You can say it in whatever way you want. And then now 4.2, starting from 4.2.1, it says calculate the total resistance of the circuit. Remember, this circuit is a combination circuit. It has got a series part, and this series part, you can see that 4 ohms. It has got 4 ohms. In 4 ohms resistor. So basically, this a 4 ohms resistor. It is the series resistor. It is the series resistance. And then for us to find the total resistance, tshwantse re this resistor here in the parallel. We need to find the resistance here in the parallel combination. To find the resistance in the parallel combination, how do we add them? We can see that here we have got 6 ohms, and this 6 ohms is parallel to 3 ohms. You are not allowed to say 6 plus 3 is equals to 9, and you'll be like smiling. You'll be like, hey guys, I made it. This is 6 plus 3 is 9. Nonsense. Okay, it's not making sense. So basically, for us to find the total resistance, we need at least to use this series resistance plus the parallel resistance. So I need to find the parallel resistance here and combine it to this series resistance, which is 4 ohms here, and get my total resistance. So let me calculate the parallel resistance. When I add 2 resistors in parallel, I say 1 over R parallel is 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2. And then if there are more than 2, you can keep on adding 1 over R3, 1 over R4, and whatnot. So here, substituting what I know, this is 1 over R parallel is equals to 1 over R1 is the first resistor here that is connected in parallel. It is 6 ohms. It's connected in parallel. Then this other one is 3 ohms is connected in parallel as well. So this is 1 over 6 plus 1 over 3. They are parallel to one another. So you combine these two. This is just going to give you okay, let's just combine it separately. So this is 1 over R parallel is equals to, you're just going to say this is over 6, and then this is going to be 1 plus, okay, this is going to be 1 plus 2. Okay, so you're just going to put that in your calculator, try to confirm what I did, if it's correct or not. But basically here, this is just how you're going to edit. So this is going to be a 6, and then it's 1 plus 2. Yeah. All right. So this is just going to give you 3 over 6. This means that we've got 1 over R parallel is equals to 3 over 6. But Rena Arenyaki 1 over R parallel, we want R parallel itself, which we need to do something to get R parallel on top as a numerator. We don't want that 1 to be on top. So what are we going to do? We're just going to swap these terms. So R parallel will go on top, then 1 will go at the bottom. Same thing on the other side. 3 will go at the bottom, 6 will go at the top. So the numerator becomes the denominator and vice versa. So here we can say R parallel is equals to 6 over 3. And 6 over 3 is like 6 divided by 3, which is just going to give us 2. This is not 2 dogs, guys. You always write the units. The parallel resistance, it is in ohms, okay? Resistance, we measure it in ohms. Okay, so this is 2 ohms. Asidim chade, che, honor spade, spade. So this is 2 ohms. So 6 over 3 is 2 ohms. So we now know what is the parallel resistance when I combine these 2 resistors that are parallel to one another. So I can say this is the total resistance of the circuit, the one that I'm looking for 4 marks. I'll say the total resistance will be the series resistance, which is the 4 ohms, plus the parallel resistance, which I've just found to be the 2 ohms. So my total resistance of the circuit there will be 6 ohms. There you go. 4. And then 4.2.2, reading on voltmeter V2. So the voltmeter V2 here, it is measuring the voltage across the across this 4 ohms resistor. So we're trying to look at the voltage across this 4 ohms resistor because it's connected to the 4 ohms resistor here. So here we can say that a 4.2.2, what do we know about this 4 ohms resistor? So we're going to collect data. We're going to collect information. what do we know ka 4 ohms resistor? We know the resistance is 4 ohms. And then we also know that the current through it is the same thing as the total current, is 2 amperes. So here, the current here is 2 amperes. And then here, what are we looking for? The voltage. So the voltage is what we're looking for. The reading on voltmeter V2, which is the potential difference or the voltage. So now basically we do have a formula that links V, I, and R. And remember, it says that V is equals to I times R. So that's your formula. V is equals to I times R, which already I will say V is equals to I times R. It's a mark just writing the formula. V is equals to I times R. So that's my formula. And then I substitute into the formula. What do I know? I know, I don't know the voltage. That's what I'm looking for. Then the current, I know the current through the 4 ohms resistor, it is 2 amperes. So I'm just going to write 2. And then the current through, okay, the resistance of this 4 ohms resistor, it is just 4, right? And then my voltage there would have to be 8 volts. Here we go. So the voltage there is 8 volts. So we can say that since the voltage through 4 ohms resistor there, it over 8 volts, it means that this V2, it is measuring a voltage of 8 volts because it's measuring the voltage through the 4 ohms resistor. Y1. So basically, the reading on V2, we find it to be 8 volts. So the answer here is 8 volts. Here we found the total to be 6 ohms. Cool. Now, what is the reading on A2, emitter A2, 3 marks? What is the reading on emitter A2? Emitter A2, basically, emitter A2 is getting the splitted current. Remember that we have said the total current is coming from the battery. This is the total current coming from the battery. But when it reaches at this point, it has got 2 parts to go. So it can go up, it can go down, but it has to go both parts, both sides, because the circuit is perfectly closed. So some of the current is going up. The one that I've highlighted, green, it is going up there to the 6 ohms resistor. And the emitter A2, it is measuring the current through the 6 ohms resistor. All right, so let me just open a space here. So basically here, this emitter A2, let's just redraw here. The total current, when it reaches this point, it is being splitted, and some of it here goes 6 ohms resistor. As it goes to the 6 ohms resistor, it is actually read, or it is actually noted by this emitter A2. So emitter A2, it is measuring the current in the 6 ohms resistor because they are connected like next to each other, like in series with each other. Some of the current from this total I can relate to total 2 amperes more. So basically, some of these 2 amperes will have to move to the 3 ohms. All right, some of it will have to move to the 3 ohms, and then it will recombine again here. And when it recombines, it will become the total current again, and it will go back to the negative terminal. Okay, so here we are trying to look for the reading on emitter A2. The emitter always measures current, Banawesh. We are looking for the current measured by emitter A2. So basically, in other way, we are actually looking for the current through the 6 ohms resistor. So we can record what we know. 4.2.3, we say the data. What do we know about the 6 ohms resistor, which is measured by this A2, whose current is measured by A2? So we know that the resistance there for that resistor is 6 ohms because it's written 6 ohms. Okay, and then we don't know the current, so we don't know the current through the resistor, and we definitely not know the voltage. But again, we're looking for the current, so we're looking for A2, so we can say it's an unknown. But the voltage, we don't know it, but we need to find it. Okay, so this is a need to find. So once we find this voltage, we can be able to use our law that says V is equals to IR and be able to calculate the current, which is the reading on emitter A2, right? So here, how can we find the voltage here through this 6 ohms resistor? You may not know the answer exactly, but you definitely know one thing. You definitely know that the voltage through this 6 ohms resistor, the voltage through the 6 ohms resistor is the same thing as the voltage through the 3 ohms resistor because they are connected in parallel. Remember, parallel, basically the voltage is the same. The voltage is equal again. So basically here we have got voltage of 6 ohms is the same thing as the voltage of 3 ohms. And it is the same thing as the what? As the parallel voltage, because the whole combination will have the same voltage. Remember, the voltage is always equal when we have got parallel circuits. Please watch my videos where I clarify this carefully. So here, how can we find the parallel voltage? At least if we find the voltage here, then we can be able to find the current, and then our job is done. We can definitely see a link here to say uti more than total voltage. This 12 volts king total voltage. Or if we say total voltage, we are going to find it by combining the voltage in the series combination plus the voltage in the parallel combination. And gopola back then this place shaded by yellow, this place shaded by yellow is the series part of the circuit again. So basically this part of the circuit, it is having the 4 ohms resistor. So the series part of the circuit is having the 4 ohms resistor. All right, and we know its voltage because here we know its voltage. We've calculated here at this point. I think it was a 4.2.2. The reading on voltmeter V2 is 8 volts. Whatever here we can say we know that this is the 8 volts. So this 8 volts, it is the series voltage. Okay, it is the what? The series voltage, because we know that the resistor, this resistor in the yellow spot, in this series yellow spot, it is 8 volts. So we can say that we've got 8, and the total voltage is 12 volts because it's the one coming from the battery. Then what will be the one that will be left to go to the parallel combination? Because here, relay here, we've got 12 volts to start with, and these 12 volts will be shared. Some of it will go to the series part, which is this 4 ohms resistor. Some of it will go to the parallel part, which is this 6 and 3. So basically, we are trying to look for the one in the parallel part. So here we can transpose, and then when we transpose here, what can you get? We can say that V parallel there will be equals to 12 minus 8, and then V parallel will be equals to 4, and it will be measured in volts. So the voltage that is going through the parallel part of the circuit, or this parallel combination, or this blue combination in this shaded diagram, we can see that this blue combination, it is the parallel voltage of 4 volts. It is a parallel voltage of 4 volts again. So it is a mark to find that. Please make sure that you always write it down. So the parallel voltage is 4 volts. Whatever, when you know the parallel voltage of this whole parallel combination, it means that this 6 ohms, it is also equals to 4 volts. This 3 ohms is also equals to 4 volts. Remember that when we have got resistors that are connected in parallel, their voltages are equal to one another, and the voltage of the entire parallel combination. Alright, so the voltage at 6 ohms is the same as the voltage at 3 ohms, is the same as the parallel voltage. So we have found the parallel voltage is 4 volts. So knowing this 4 volts, remember we're looking for this reading A2. So we now know that the voltage here is equals to what? Is equals to 8. And now it's easier for us to use the formula. So we can just come and say V is equals to IR. It's a mark for the formula. The voltage that we know here, it is definitely 8 volts that is going through this 6 ohms resistor. And then the current, which is the current through this 6 ohms resistor, which is measured by A2, which is what they've asked us. Here, the resistance is 6 ohms, 6. And then you divide both sides by 6. And then put that on a calculator. You're just going to say what is 8 over 6. And then that is going to give you 1.3. So it will be 1.3 amperes. Whatever here in the 6 ohms resistor, we are getting 1.3 amperes. So here it is 1.3 amperes. So it means the rest will go to the 3 ohms resistor. So out of these 2 amperes, we'll have 1.3 amperes going through here in the what? In the 6 ohms resistor. Okay. So, okay. So, sorry. Okay, this is 4 volts. So this is 4 volts, sorry. This is 4 volts more. So this is going to be 4 over 6. This is 4 volts. So this is going to be 4 over 6. And then you put that in the calculator. So when you put that in the calculator, you must get something. So here, if I'm going to say 4/6 from my calculator, I'm definitely going to get 0.6. So this is going to be 0.6 amperes. Yeah, so this is just a 0.6 amperes. So basically here, this parallel voltage that we found here, 4 volts, we used 4 volts here as well. We got 0.6 amperes. So that's the current through the emitter A2, the current reading. And then the last question in the calculations, 4.2.4, calculate the amount of charge. We are looking for Q that flows through the emitter A1 in 120 seconds. Remember, A1, we know that it is the total current of 2 amperes. Remember from our analysis, it has got the total current of 2 amperes. So we know that the current there, if we collect our information, the current through A1 is equals to 2 amperes. And then they say here, the amount of time that this charge is flowing, it is 120 seconds. So the time there will be 120 seconds. And here we are looking for the charge. Charge, the symbol is Q. And then to find the charge, if we know the current and the time, we know that the formula says current is equals to charge over time. And then here, the current here that we know that is flowing through A1, this emitter A1, it is 2 amperes. Then the charge is what we are looking for. And then the time taken for it to flow is 120 seconds. It's already in seconds. We don't need to convert it to any standard units. So this is going to be 120 seconds. So the charge there will give you 240. So you're going to get 240 coulombs. Remember, charge, you measure it in coulombs. So that's going to give you another 3 marks. So this is 1, 2, 3. And then last question here. 4.3, how will the reading on emitter A1 be affected if 6 ohms resistor is removed from the circuit? So we are going to remove this resistor, this 6 ohms resistor. So we're going to remove it. So here you need to remember that on my previous video, I mentioned what happens when you remove a resistor in parallel. Because this 6 ohms, you can see this 6 ohms is definitely here. Is parallel to this 3 ohms, right? So we are removing the 6 ohms. So we are removing a resistor in what? In parallel. Remember, when you remove a resistor in parallel, the total resistance increases. Don't twist this. When you remove a resistor in parallel, the total resistance increases. I repeat, when you remove a resistor in parallel, the total resistance increases. But when you add a resistor in parallel, the total resistance will decrease, right? So here, by removing this 6 ohms, we are actually increasing the resistance. So when you're increasing the resistance, how will this affect the reading on emitter A1? Remember, the reading on emitter A1 is the total current again. So remember, it is the total current, the reading on emitter A1. So how will it be affected? How will the total current be affected if I remove a resistor in parallel? Basically, the resistance will increase. And since resistance and current, they are inversely proportional. So current and resistance, they're inversely proportional. So basically here, by removing the 6 ohms, I know that my resistance will increase. So my current will have to decrease because it's inversely proportional. Like when one thing goes up, the other one goes down. So here, the answer here, it will be decrease because they say write only increase, decrease, or remains the same. And when you explain it with 4.4, explain the answer to question 4.3 without any calculation. Don't calculate anything, just give the reasoning. You say that when you remove the 6 ohms resistor, the resistance will increase. That's the first thing that you say. We'll say here 4.4, when you remove the 6 ohms resistor, the resistance here, the resistance will increase when you remove the 6 ohms resistor. And we know that resistance and currents, they are inversely proportional. So you can write that using words, or you can just say current is inversely proportional to resistance. So it means that here, when resistance increases, you are writing it, you're going to explain it. I don't have space to write. So you're going to say that when resistance increases, then the current will decrease. Okay, and when this is all happening at a constant voltage. So just mention that this is at a constant voltage. So here, by removing this 6 ohms resistor, I am increasing the resistance because I'm removing it from the parallel combination. And when I increase the resistance, because the resistance and current, they are inversely proportional, so this increased resistance will make the current to be smaller, to decrease. And when it decreases, this happens at a constant voltage. And then that's how you explain what will happen to the reading on emitter A1, which is the total current, when you remove the 6 ohms resistor. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends to stay tuned.